Boxing Truth here. Yuriorkis Gamboa has just signed with another neophyte promoter recently, and it appears he's going to end his professional boxing career with a promotional company named BB Promotions, for good or worse. BB Promotions is a company from Spain. Gamboa recently visited them there, and he came away impressed, according to him. And it's surprising that he's not going to sign with a more experienced promoter, a promoter with connections, a promoter that can provide him fighters and dates. He's instead handing his career, whatever is left of it, with a unknown promoter with no experience. They haven't put on any shows, and he's the first fighter to sign off with them. BB Promotions, they don't even have a website, don't know who's running the company. They made advances to Guillermo Rigondeaux before Gamboa. They were unable to entice him to sign with them. So Gamboa is the first fighter to sign off with them. And you would think Gamboa will learn his lesson, signing with promoters that don't have any experience, considering his last promotional pact he had with 50 Cent. 50 Cent pretty much ruined his boxing career, ruined the momentum he had. Long stretches of inactivity. Couldn't get him active, couldn't get him on any dates. 50 was just unable to get any, he was unable to put on any shows on his own. He pretty much had to feature his fighters on other promoters' cards. Much of the time he did that with Gamboa. He featured him on Golden Boy promoted, Top Rank promoted cards. And the stretches of inactivity hindered his career, hindered his skills. Yuriorkis Gamboa was a very, very talented, very skilled, very good fighter. Olympic gold medalist in 2004. I think he defected with Guillermo Rigondeaux and Erislandy Lara at the same time. They both came together to the States, I believe. All three of them. And out of the trio of that bunch, Gamboa was my kind of fighter. He had the Cuban school and all that. He had the skill set, the boxing ability. But he liked to get in there and fight. He liked to entertain the crowd. He liked to record knockouts. And that's what I liked about Gamboa. He had the ability to make it boring, to make it box, but he liked to get in there and fight. He liked to display his punching power and tremendous offensive firepower, especially in the featherweight division. He had some very good performance at featherweight. Trashed Orlando Salido, played with him, knocked him down a couple of times. Won an easy decision. Had good performances, in New York. Destroyed Motagua. Beat the crap out of Jorge Salas. These weren't Motagua, Salas weren't the best fighters out there, but they were decent guys. So Salido was his most impressive win at featherweight. And then he toyed with Ponce de Leon for 8 rounds before the fight was halted. But from 2009 to 2011, Gamboa was looking real good, man. He was having good performances, was toying with his opponents. Didn't seem like he really seemed like the best featherweight in the world. And he was with Top Rank at the time. And they were building him up to try to make him become, a star in boxing, get him more of a fan base. And they were putting him in with opponents to make him look good, make him look explosive. They wanted to make a big fight with Juan Lopez, but Aram didn't want to make it because it wasn't big enough. He didn't want to make it until it was, there was a lot of juice behind it. So he wanted to marinate it. Unfortunately, Juan lost to Salido twice, got knocked out twice, and that fight was done with. It never happened. It was over marinated because Juan lost to Salido twice, got knocked out by him. So Gamboa, he really had nothing else left. He won 2 belts at featherweight, and the Juan fight couldn't materialize, so they had to go to a different direction. So what was next? Brandon Rios was supposed to be the opponent following his dominant victory over Ponce de Leon, because Rios was another top-ranked client, and he was going on a good run at lightweight. Was knocking guys out, looking good, and was overpowering lightweights because he was able to squeeze down there and be a big lightweight the next day, come in at 151, 152. So he was overpowering guys with his size and his fighting ability. He could take shots, eat shots all night, and he'd come forward and bang you out. So they scheduled to have that fight in April of 2012, and it was a hell of a fight. When it was announced, people were very excited. They wanted to see how Gamboa, with the ability, his boxing ability, could do against the hard charging grinder like Brandon Rios, who looked very good in a stretch of wins at lightweight, won his only world title at that weight. And the fight was set. The fight was scheduled. The press conference was set. Brandon Rios showed up. Yuriorkis Gamboa was nowhere to be found. He was a no-show at the press conference. And that would be the fight with De Leon. Would be the last fight that was with Top Rank. That was promoted by Top Rank. Gamboa would seek a release from Top Rank. He hooked up with 50 Cent. Got bad advice. Hooked up with a guy that had no experience in promoting, no experience at all compared to Top Rank. I mean, 50 Cent was an amateur compared to Top Rank. Top Rank, proven track record, over 50 years in boxing, have produced stars. I mean, to leave Top Rank, a proven entity, to join an unproven one, and a rapper, an entrepreneur nonetheless, just a terrible business decision. And it ruined his career. 50 Cent would end up buying out Gamboa from his contract, paying Top Rank $1.2 million. And in his first fight with 50 Cent, 50 couldn't get a show to put him on. He couldn't put on any shows. The guy was having trouble putting on any shows by himself. So he needed other established promoters like Top Rank to help him out. So Top Rank, did him a solid. He paid him $1.2 million to release Gamboa to him, and they hooked him up with a slot on the Manny Pacquiao Marquez undercard for Gamboa. He ended up fighting Michael Farinas. Ended up being a tough fight for Gamboa. Got knocked down, didn't look good. Defense was shaky, but won the fight. And then the long stretches of inactivity just continued to happen for Gamboa. One fight in 2012, one fight in 2013, only one fight in 2015, and 50 Cent didn't give him the best chance of winning. Heading into the fight with Terrence Crawford, had only fought once prior to the fight with Crawford, and didn't look good against Darlis Perez. Didn't have the best performance. Then went through a year of inactivity before heading into the fight with Crawford, who's a much naturally bigger man, had fights at 140 even prior to fighting at lightweight. Much bigger, taller guy, lankier reach. Started out well and ended up in a good fight. Got knocked out. Chinny guy, defensively flawed. Crawford had a good performance and knocked him out. And ever since, he's had 2 fights. He's looked mediocre in them. Especially his last fight. He looked downright average against Holly Williams. Williams thought he won the fight. I watched it, but he was just going with the motions. Didn't look good. Wasn't explosive. Speed wasn't there. The power, speed just wasn't clicking that night. He looked downright average. And now he's released himself from 50 Cent. 50 Cent's smart. He's being smart about it though. Even his promotional company has failed, SMS Promotions, but while he's not gonna be promoting his guys anymore, he's gonna be tied to them. He's still gonna be getting his cut for a number of bouts, featuring fighters like Gamboa and Ryan Martin for a number of bouts. Whenever they fight, he will still get a percentage of their purses. But it's disappointing how Gamboa's career has pretty much went nowhere after he left Top Rank. This guy had a lot of potential. He was gonna be a guy who was supposed to be in really big, significant fights. Was gonna be on the pound for pound list. He was showing a lot of potential early on. Was having great performances prior to signing with 50 Cent, and he was the guy I liked the most out of Lara, Rigo, and Gamboa. I mean, yeah, he was vulnerable. He would get hit. He would go down, but he would come to fight, and he would make for exciting fights, and he would really wow you with some of his performances. He really had the ability to wow boxing fans, man. He had some tremendous knockouts, very good performances, and it all went to shit when he pulled out of the fight with Brandon Rios. And now he's been mostly out of sight, out of mind, because of stretches of inactivity. And now he's gonna be 35 years old, and his best days are gone. It's not there anymore. He's past his best. He's a naturally small guy, 5'5", only 65-inch reach. He's having a hard time getting back down to 130. He's not really a lightweight. He should really try to fight at 130 pounds. And now he's signing with another neophyte promoter for the rest of his career, and it remains to be seen what BB Promotions could do for them. Don't know who the hell they are. Don't know their connections. This is their first fighter they've ever signed. Now they gotta keep him busy, get him some shows. They want to use him to help jumpstart boxing, the popularity in boxing in Spain, since the company is from Spain. They say they're willing to work worldwide. They're a worldwide company. They said they want to get Gamboa some significant fights, but saying is one thing, doing is another. And it's been a lot of new promoters that go into boxing, and they find it's no easy task. I mean, Rock Nation still hasn't had much success overpaying fighters in their contracts. A lot of lawsuits. Mike Tyson's company folded. 50 Cent's company folded. Now BB Promotions is gonna try to see what they can do. I wish Gamboa the best, but he's done. Best days are behind him. Going to be 35 years old. Now with another neophyte promoter that's going to try their best to get him big fights, but we'll see what's in store for Gamboa in the future, but I don't see much of a bright future. I mean, unless he keeps fighting no-name guys or, stay busy opponents like Hyla Williams. But the next elite, top fighter he fights, he'll most likely will lose. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.